Hey everyone, it's Tony. Happy to be back. We ran this on Friday night. We're going to do a little bonus for you. This one is the other set of flags that we do. This is a little bit more quick and focused, so I won't have to kill everything. But with me again is Ehad. He's going to take over and explain the movement, and I'm going to get kicked off here, and you can go ahead and count us down, Yi, and then explain movement, and we'll get into it.
Real quick, the base movement, again, for all those that didn't see, is Tony is going to turn around to the left, press a button to backdash, and then press down on the controller or anything else that he might have set up to cancel the backdash. It ends up being, even a slow backdash cancel setup with a good rhythm ends up being significantly faster than just walking forward. So that's the important bit, because that green chest that we see in the front is a key item, and it can be one of the two things we are looking for. It can be the Zangetsu sword. So Tony, if you're ready, we can count this down.
Yep, count it.
In 3, 2, 1... Bloodstained. Alright, I vetted this seed. That is not one of the things we are looking for. In this version, if you happen to see Friday, everything is a little bit more focused. Things shuffle within themselves. So if it's a green chest in the base game, it's going to be a green chest in the main game. There are a few exceptions. This trip to the Alchemist, it's a little weird. That gets rotated into the key items. It ends up so strange. There's times where the game will just cycle some of the key items out, and there's a pretty good armor right there. And an unfortunate, pretty much default weapon there. For a good armor, that health is going to be very worth it. So, we are still looking for Zangetsu. We are still looking for Dimension Shift. However, we only have to pay attention to specific enemies that carry those purple directional shards on this one. One of the first ones that can have one, and one of the guaranteed drops, is going to be coming up in this room. It'll be the cannon that Tony's about to take out in 3, 2, 1, and we get Fald Tayab, one of the really good offensive shards in the game. It's mana efficient, does pretty good damage, and I bet Tony's feeling really nice right now about not having any of the lag we ran into in them on Friday.
Hey, you do what you can.
Yeah.
So.
And we're going to hear a lot of fall. So cover your ears if you're worried about that one. So, all right, Tony's going to be going to the next key item check right here in this one little right here. No, this is not Chrono Trigger. And we're not going to be going up to the left, because all that's up there is usually just a blue chest and a red chest, and we don't really need that one. This one's going to be a weapon. Claymore, not the best weapon in the world, but it is pretty useful.
Yeah, and I'm not going to check any of these save rooms, because they're not shuffled like they were in the other category. And I'm not going to check a lot of the stuff that's in walls and in other green chests that I know aren't like accessories or weapons or something that would be useful for us, so.
Blue chests and same type shuffle do tend to be significantly more useful, just for the chance of getting that that sweet fried fish.
Or yeah, if I go buy one, I'll open it, but I'm not going to go out of my way.
Yeah. There's no more purples on the boat, so we don't have to worry too much about it. We're just going to be checking for weapons and other assorted nonsense here.
Yeah, and we don't even really need weapons, because the one weapon we do need is a key item, and I have an offensive shard that like not only does great damage, but it kind of solves the MP problem that we might have, because we only have to use like 1 or 2 MP every time we use it. Oh wow.
Oh.
Okay.
So I vetted this seed, but I did not know that was there, because I could never get him to drop in my multiple runs through this. So we now have the best red in the game. There we go, and that is a very quick FFR. Gonna get a low quality red, and we're gonna move into Arvenville.
Yeah, if you see me pause by mistake there, it's just because you can cancel out some of these cutscenes, and sometimes you do it too early and you pause by accident.
As we progress through this one, you're going to notice Tony doesn't really pick up a lot of levels.
You won't do it. Help Julius, the Chandler.
Julius isn't really. The Julius one is a DLC boss fight. This first one, Tony's going to go through, because Strider Belt is a different type of movement. It's going to allow him to slide faster.
And we're going to kill Bowmort as well because he drops a purple.
Just until we get this cleared out. Blood Tab is a little weird because it's kind of like a dimension shift if you saw the earlier run. It has a very specific zone, a very specific range away from Miriam that it's effective in. So you have to be on point with your attacks as opposed to something like Void Ray or Aqua Stream.
Good work. Here's
All right.
your reward.
So once Tony equips this, Silver Bromide, that is a key item that opens up. That in combination with a couple other things opens up a little bit more.
Once I've transmuted an item, I'll pass it on to Dominique.
I will equip the belt in a second. Just want to see if there's anything else that I'm going to buy first. We want to minimize menuing because it wastes time. Can't skip that. I don't know why I paused there.
What would you like to Is Paul, thank you.
Yeah, looks like Moonbelt, but
Oh,
Okay.
HP
Well,
mostly.
well. Is pleasure doing business. Is
Moonbelt is the item that lets you actually backdash even faster. And Tony's going to go for it. So
Yeah.
we've shown off some of the various things that we can pull off here, but you'll see Tony's backdash is going to like double in speed here.
Yeah, it's technically faster than a Strider belt, so I probably should have checked the shop first. That's what happens.
All right, Tony's going to pop over here, get that HP up, and activate that teleporter. And we are still going to be on the hunt for both Dimension Shift and Zangetsuto. There are some checks to fire off along the way, like this one coming up right here, where he's going to stand on this roof and it's going to fall through. That green chest is usually a, well, it's an accessory, and it's usually not that great of an accessory. This one's just a weapon, although Lundgren is a pretty decent greatsword. It has an overhead swing, and when it hits, it actually does an additional bit of fire damage. Alright, so Tony should probably be able to get all the way through this room before the entrance thing comes up, and yep, there we go. Just blasted right through that room.
Yeah, I was like a couple frames too slow to get under that first set of bats, but I got the other two.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, Moonbelt does actually get you underneath that. The slide does. So, all right, Whip Expertise, not a great yellow as passives go, unless you're actually going to be running whips, not the best. There are better. Crusader's Armor, fairly early, but that's roughly around where that would pop up. Oh, getting a red here, throw a spear, that's a pretty good red. Gonna zip right past everyone.
Yeah, if we can find Jeebel's glasses and get infinite MP, I might use it. It's good range.
Yeah, we're just blasting through enemies here. Very little in the game stands up to Fall Tie-Op.
Okay. We didn't get... Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get this one yet. Alright, things won't flash quite as bad, but there is going to be a little bit of a stagger whenever we transition between rooms. Yeah, we're just barely using any MP. This is Fall Type's mana efficiency is so high. Yeah, it's one of the reasons that everybody prefers it as the top bit. So we're just looking to get this thing to try to drop. It's only about a 4 to 5% drop rate. So.
Yeah, and we don't want to leave it. We don't want to leave it behind because this is the last spot, or one of the fastest spots we can farm it in, and it could be dimension shift, and we need that. So, gonna do it now. As much as it pains me to not abandon it and come back, which is my normal style, I'm trying to play this one as quick as possible. So we're not gonna miss anything and lose an hour.
Well, even in STS, it's hard to lose an hour.
It's not when you have to kill something 50 times. So. Come on, brother. Omar, can I interest you in dropping your shard, please?
Give it a few more and then probably move on.
Okay. I'm only gonna do that because you said to. Ooh, that silver means he drops iron as well? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, certain enemies drop the shards, so we're looking for the ones that specifically drop the purple shards. The ring, that's a crafting item.
That's a good one too because that opens up an accessory to be crafted, which could be the glasses, which is what we want. Oh, steel? Oh, steel and a longsword, so that's not the pool that also drops.
That's not bronze, that's not iron.
Yeah, which are good crafting materials. They make a bunch of stuff early. Normally the shop guy, his key item is he gives you a bunch of crafting materials that will help you, craft some stuff to make your journey a little bit easier through the next part. Because we scale up the difficulty pretty hard, like right about now-ish, when we fight the first boss.
That room is 3 purples, isn't it?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, that's for as early game goes, that's pretty high density. You might want to hit that one, or come back to it after Zangetsu.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Toad is a lower drop percentage, but the Plume Parma, Toad, and Blood Grinder Knight all drop a purple.
Yeah.
We don't farm them there. I usually skip the Toad because it's such a low percentage, and that room takes a long time to reset. But we will farm these right here. We don't care about that.
I'm gonna get the red anyway. Not a bad one, but we have Hellhound.
Yeah, I was hoping for like poison. We have basically the best red, so if we find infinite MP, we can utilize it, but it's not a big deal. We already have one of the best purples. But yeah, I'll just elaborate a little bit more because this guy's gonna melt. About what I do typically when I race is I skip a lot of this stuff because we're guaranteed a 4 out of 5 shot at some ability to unlock a different area with the white lamp that's coming up. And I like to get to that first and then figure out what to do from there, just because you have more options, and if one of those options is movement, that means you can get to that location that you decide to go to faster, wherever you want to farm your purples at. I'm just checking for a better sword here. Okay.
So chat's asking us to explain the chest colors.
Oh yeah.
Brown chests are always going to be something like a potion, an ether or a potion, sometimes a high ether or a high potion. You'll never see the top level ones. Blues are randomized based on various spaces. They can have, there's like 7 or 8 different types of things that can be there, and it would take forever to go through. Greens, unfortunately, can either be weapons, accessories, or key items. So we're going to be paying more attention to the greens than anything else. Red is always money.
Yeah, and a special note about the greens, even though that you wouldn't know the first time you played through the game, they do have a designator of like what kind of equipment can be in them. So the accessory green chests are always this shuffle with each other in this set. So I know all green chests have accessories in them in the base game, so that's why you might see me skip some greens, depending on like what we're looking for.
Unfortunately, that is one of the enemies that's strong against darkness.
Whatever.
She's meant to keep you from going this way in the early game, because this is the way to one of the really late game portions of the.
Yeah, and you can fall down there and
really,
like lose.
Yeah, and you can fall down and just lose millions of seconds.
All right.
So this is going to be another instance of high jump.
Yeah, and I went this way just because if that is invert safety, which is like a soft lock protection mechanic, it gets us into a bunch of other areas without having to have dimension shift, and those areas could have dimension shift. Also, you get 2 kills on that guy who also drops a purple, so it's not that bad of a time loss if you don't have anything there.
Now, these guys that he's killing on the way through tend to drop a yellow. The yellows are, just the generic, basically, stat ups. I know what they drop. I'm not gonna say. Alright, ammo up is not good. That is going to be turned off instantly. That is where he's not allowed worthwhile.
I probably would have skipped the health up and, you know, marathon. We might have to fight the boss at a really low level, so...
yeah, it's safety.
It's right there. Just grab it.
Those horses in same type shuffle can drop one of the really just one of the great. Yeah, fall tie up can be a little finicky. Now we're gonna lock that off to drop down onto it. But they drop something called is it the cursed ring? It's not cursed. It's actually quite good.
Huh? Little input error there.
Yeah, the input for high jump is backdash plus up, or just backdash when you're in the air, and it will we'll get a little. And there we go. Since we're at high frame rate, we get to show off that craftwork at high frame rate just kind of turns back and forth. Polymorphosis is an interesting one. We're not really going to use it, but it turns Miriam into one of the enemies in the game.
Wrong glasses.
Why one of us is always here, right?
Now, we do have some movement options around here. There is the teleporter to grab a couple of yellows, purples to go after.
Well, I also we have 40 minutes of...
Tony's going to be going down here to do one of the safety checks. So Getsuto can spawn in an additional spot right here. We unfortunately did not get it. That is a halfway decent headgear, but not the best. And high jump makes for extremely fast vertical movement. Almost uncontrollable sometimes, but... There's a purple. Acid jet. Scale armor. What drops of scale armor?
Ooh. Yeah, the scale
That's
armor.
good.
That's another thing that can, I think, drop iron. So there's something in the shop. The shop has something that uses iron to craft it. We'll maybe check that out. I'm gonna keep going though because I have vertical movement, so we can go through. Oh, there's an iron. All right.
That's iron. Okay, that's definitely something craftable.
So like,
we'll want to check the shop later.
yeah, bronze would be nice as well, just because it can make some good items. It's evolved in several recipes.
And that acid jet that keeps dropping from those enemies is actually a poison. This guy drops a purple, but we probably won't spend too much time on it. It's the only one we have access to. Man, it just really wants to give you acid jet.
It's raining acid jet, yeah.
I mean, it's great against Dominique.
Key item here.
Or garlic potato. Not the best. Alright. So we're going to be working our way up towards the halfway boss, the fake one that can be fake killed. Those Titanias are just jerks. Bloodbringer's kind of a jerk too. Alright, and the wall he's about to break on this side has a key item behind it, or not a key item, an accessory behind it, so we can see what that is. Unicorn ring. It's okay for intelligence increase, but not by much. It doesn't really help out that much. Now, something we didn't see in the max, or we did see in the max chaos, is this little breakable wall up here. This one has a key item in it. The key item is going to be in this chest, and it's a Zangetsuko, so we can take up, we can go get him. So we're halfway to go mode.
Yep.
And there is
The attic almost always has it, huh?
yeah, it's almost always attic. Yeah, and you're going to check the save.
I'm taking a safety save here, yeah.
Yeah, just in case something goopy happens.
Well, with this much damage, it's sometimes easy to overkill our mini boss here, and we don't want to do that because we'll get the bad ending. So. All right.
Alright. So we're going to do about 90% of the damage to Jeeble, and then the moon's going to turn red, and we're going to jump up there and cut it. There's really no weapon better than Zangetsuto at this point, so just stick with it. Alright. Tepso Renda is actually one of my favorite charges in the game. What's cooler than summoning a giant lightning storm?
Oh, really?
It's because you got hit by that ice shard.
Yeah.
A little stagger it gave you. This is Hellhound. We have that one. Okay.
Try to save everything for one menu there.
Place stone back. Check the shop. Check crafting.
Here's what I've turned up on the monsters.
See if there's anything really worth doing in there. There's the food back on the boat, but probably
What are we
not.
transmuting this time?
All right, let's see what we can craft.
Hello.
Hello, Jeeble's glasses. Infinite energy as long as you have that, and yeah, we have Fall Tyob and Hellhound, so we have combat basically solved.
That's good news. All right.
What will you like? Is this car? Is leisure do is here?
First Spear is also a very good one. It is a viable option.
What'll it be? Is car?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to it just for the range because we don't have anything else with range right now.
Is here you are.
Don't need any ethers.
Thank you.
Now, it's kind of your call at this point what we're going to do. If we're going to go back and look at some of the stuff that we skipped over, we're going to try to...
Yeah, I think that's the most dense area, so we're gonna stick with that.
Yeah, Hellhound just gone. With high MP and max stats, you're looking at high 4-digit damage out of Hellhound. Things will die. Collector ray?
Okay, that's
don't need. That's
don't
a
need
thing.
that technically. Yeah. Well, we could use it to go to some other areas, but
There are probably areas we're not going to need to go to.
yeah, unlikely.
All right,
That's the wrong
DS.
DS.
Okay, well, I mean, there's still the garden stuff to check.
Yep. And I'm gonna go this way because I don't care about melee weapons and checking those weapon chests up below. And the area I want to go to next, it's on the other side of this big room that we were in before because it lets me do Toad and Plume Parma, which you don't have in the same room. Although I don't have a beam weapon, so it won't be as fast as it normally would be, where I can just reset the room and like hit them both at the same time. It's still gonna be pretty quick. So, actually, let's. Okay, that could have been like a decent,
Could have been a
consumable.
potion.
Yeah. Oh, didn't mean to talk to him.
And dimension shift.
Okay. I don't even need I don't even need a waystone. We can just go this way.
Yeah, we have everything we need to beat the game at this point. The only thing is, if we collect a little bit more stuff to get some money or even some potions, we may want to run back and grab some more healing. But
Yeah, conveniently there's a teleporter room in the very last area that we can go ahead and utilize to do that. I have high potions, so we should be able to get through this without too much trouble.
this is a key item. That's actually the pool that Johannes is supposed to give you at the start of the game. It's supposed to allow you to craft like some really low level stuff, basic potions.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have any horizontal movement here, but that's okay.
Scrumptious.
Yeah, the horizontal movement and the enemies in this area hit like a truck.
Yeah, it is an endgame area. Welcome to Tiny Huge Island.
Alright, and we are definitely just blasting right through this. That rat always gets you. I swear that one giant rat always just catches people for no reason. Alright, that bat's being a jerk.
Dimension shift.
Oh,
Dimension shift.
That accidental up was actually kind of a butt saver there.
hilarious, yeah.
Dimension shift.
2,000 gold, that's actually quite good.
Dimension shift.
That's a couple more high potions.
I keep trying to double jump, I don't have it.
That wasn't exactly necessary, but hey, it's right there.
Yeah, I just was hoping it was health, so I went for it.
Dimension shift. Dimension shift. Dimension shift.
Okay. Emerald, Sapphire, Silver, not exactly what we're looking for here, but we can pretty much ignore most of the enemies here. There is one more health, health up.
Yeah, potential, yeah.
Check over here.
Yeah, so with same type, like the status upgrades here, you know, the HP, the MP, the ammo, they only get shuffled with each other, so that's a lot of the breakable walls in the game, which is why you don't see me breaking a whole lot of walls in this one, and you see me breaking a lot of walls in the previous run.
Alright, Glacial Tomb, last area of the game.
Yeah, cool mountain, let's do it. Let's not get hit by these ice guys.
The worst type of enemy in the game there, the completely random elementals. See? They can just turn directions on you for no reason. Alright.
Yeah, I'm hitting these blues hoping for food, that's all, really.
We want to show off that last check? Yeah, show off these last checks here. This is kind of like the bailout thing, so place to check on everything. Always an armor, always some sort of accessory, and it's always going to be some sort of stat up in that room. We tend to call it the bailout room because it's the last possible place you can find Jeeble's glasses just sitting around.
Yeah, and if you're racing me, just go to that room, you'll get Jeeble's glasses for sure.
Sword fragments is sellable. See what we can get out of that one. Poison Kuruki isn't the worst. Wouldn't be the worst.
Yeah, but I have acid jet, like level 4.
All right, levels on Hellhound are worthwhile. It just expands the weird hitbox.
Tell me, what exactly is the Liebenberg?
And yeah, we're cruising along here.
Just gonna take the health because of the nastiness of the couple of rooms of Glacial Tomb we still have to go through.
Oh, what would you like to sell? Oh, what would you like? There you are.
Ooh, EX potions in shop now.
Oh, what would you like to there you are.
Alright, let's fight the menu boss real quick.
Yeah,
there you are. Is leisure doing? There you are. There you are.
Yeah, fighting the menu boss can be a thing.
There you are.
I'm not gonna have enough, I don't think, for more than one.
What would you like?
No, one's still plenty.
What would you like is leisure doing business.
Axel was playing along on the seed. He finished in 25-14-56.
Well, he's way better than me, so that's cool.
He did like the seed.
Yeah,
I like
to
the
see
seed
him.
too.
Yeah, you'll actually get to see him play Friday. We're doing a bonus run. He's on West Coast time, so it'll be a little later, but that'll give the audience a chance to see somebody who has got like really good combat skills. Like, there's a lot of the movement we're doing here is cancelable, like with all sorts of stuff, and you can fit melee swings into a lot of that. And the best players can do that. It's not something that a lot of us can do, but you know, tune in for that.
Good dimension shift. That one can be tricky.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The good thing is, even if you don't like get super good at the combat, you can still compete like in races of this game because you know, we only saw about like a quarter of the castle, and if you just pick the right place to go or you get like the right drops, you know, you can still beat the best players with relative ease. You know, it's not going to happen a ton, but you know, if you know what you're doing, it counts a lot more in this game than it would in, say, a game that's more execution heavy.
All right, we're gonna get the safety saved in case anything goes wrong. And Axel says to accept some Zangetsu parries from him. I recommend watching the Zangetsu parries. They are very fun to watch.
I could go for it, but I mean,
No, I wouldn't push it too hard.
yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, don't push too hard on it. Let's just poison her and then start beating her to death with darkness. Alright, so that spell that you just used to poison her doesn't do a lot of damage initially, but you can see we're ticking for 54 poison damage every tick. And she hits like a truck, especially at these low levels. This isn't like when we ran the max on Friday where we were pretty well leveled. We are way under leveled here.
You can kind of bait her into what you want her to do sometimes, but if she decides to do what she wants to do, what you do doesn't matter. Like you can kind of manipulate her into like swinging high if you're, jumping, and swinging low if you're crouching. If she decides to do something that's not swinging the scarf, yeah, you got nailed there.
Ooh.
Clip that. Clip that.
That elbow is a problem. Okay, we're in phase 2. So she's doing all the upgraded attacks. The Dragon's Fire only does a little bit of damage, but contact with body hits you significantly harder. Oh. Alright, advanced fire spell, which means there's going to be... Oh. How did that happen?
She could stop elbowing, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay, we're through Dominique, and we're into Bale. This is where Hellhound is really going to come in handy.
We got time for a couple quick donations while this is loading.
Yeah, throw them in.
All right, we got a $35 donation from Christopher Warkin, $25 for the war criminal to pay for his crimes, $5 to name a character Wark in the final run, and 5 more for a character to be named Quay in the final run. And then because it's very on brand, we got a $5 Dimension Shift train going right now. Dark Moon $5, Sprocket Dance $5, Dimension Shifts all around.
Alright. So, access to, oh yeah, 309 damage off of that. And Hellhound is gonna do some work.
Game over.
Ah,
Well,
Oh, donation for Dad.
that's why we saved right outside the room. Alright, let's poison her. Now, should you decide to play this seed specifically, much as Axel had done, you obviously saw where you can get the stuff to craft Jiggles glasses. 2 iron will craft Graham, which is one of the better horizontal movements that the seed actually has access to. Oh, we're in part 2 already. The archers in the cathedral have Aqua Stream, and the paintings have Tep Cell Render. Yeah, one of the downsides to Hellhound is that it eats your visual.
yeah, I can't see.
You can't see much. You beat the hell out of everybody, but you can't see what you're doing.
That's a classic. You die once and then you just come back and you destroy it.
Yeah. So
We're gonna get cat RNG now. Watch.
yeah, we're gonna get cat RNG now.
It doesn't matter. We have
Yeah, Barber has
high
Barber
jump.
has augment int.
Yeah.
It's
Cat RNG is only bad if you don't have invert or high jump, because then you have a way to just dodge the lava pit.
all right. We got Froth. Huh?
We'll take that. Yeah. That's actually better than what we had before.
He will tell you what. He will do what
Yeah, that Tis Wraith can be a problem because there's times where you'll get too much noise generation stuff on the screen and you just can't hear it spawning, and then you just get plastered. Okay. So he's gonna spit at us, and the cat's gonna yell at us.
Time.
And it's not gonna matter because that's time. The cat did start yelling at us.
All right. Well, that was fun because we got to do it without any of the technical issues. So, but quick shout outs to Jay. You've been working so hard this weekend, man. We love you. Give it up for Jay Shadow over there. Come on.
Indeed. Yay! Let's go.
All right, and
work,
thank
everyone.
you for letting me use your computer and hosting. And we will do a long thank you next Friday when Axel plays because we'll have no time limit, but we want to get everybody more action right away. So thanks, Easy, for joining me. Thanks to the charity for being so great and let us help you out, and thanks to FFR and everybody who volunteered and donated for getting us here and having us.
Thank you guys very much, too. We're going to transition over a little bit, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you, everybody.